Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Zane. Let's do another video on Polestar. This is going to be fantastic. Courtesy of EV SPAC, the GGPI shared the PSNY, which will be the new ticker symbol for the Polestar company once the merger is completed. So we've got some numbers right here, some sales numbers, courtesy of EV SPAC. So thank you to EV SPAC because I'm using their data, their information. So during Q1 of 2022, Polestar had sales of 2,384 EVs, which equates to nearly 800 vehicles a month. So in 2021, Polestar sold a total of 4,490 electric vehicles, and that was roughly around 375 a month. So this will be nearly 10,000 cars in the United States alone if the trend holds. The future is electric, and this is brilliant. This is a brilliant tweet by EV SPAC because it explains everything so nice and simplistic. Now obviously what's really incredible is that Polestar will be developing the Polestar 3, which is their first SUV within the United States. So that's going to be a huge hit. It's going to be widely successful because people love electric vehicles. But most importantly, people in the United States, they love large vehicles. And when I say large vehicles, I'm talking about SUVs, vans, pickup trucks like Rivians, but they do love SUVs. They chose the correct market to build their SUV in, and that's brilliant. I spoke about this in another video that I literally just finished making, but let's just talk about it again. This is Europe numbers only, and this is from Thundra, so courtesy of Thundra, so thank you for this information. So what have we got here? 6,508 Polestar were sold in the first quarter of 2022 in Europe alone, by the way. This is fantastic. This puts them 34 on this list of the most selling vehicles in Europe alone. Volkswagen has absolutely killed it by selling over 267,000 vehicles, almost 100,000 vehicles more than Toyota. About 90,000 vehicles more than Toyota. It's absolutely insane what Volkswagen is doing. Good for them. Now Volvo on the other hand sold 66,000 vehicles in Europe alone. That's pretty damn good. And Tesla sold 59,000 vehicles in Europe alone. That's pretty damn good from Tesla as well. BMW and Mercedes, they're selling the exact same numbers, 157,000 vehicles, with Audi selling 150,000 vehicles. So good for them, but I just wanted to show you that chart really quickly. So courtesy of SPAC Pick, another thing that we have to talk about is obviously the recent shorting of the GGPI share. Everyone knows that the merger date is coming up really soon, so they're all trying to short the share as much as possible because they know in the market that we have now, the market is performing absolutely terrible in case you can't tell. They know there's a huge chance that the Polestar share after merger at $20 billion in valuation, they know that it's probably going to drop up by a lot. I'll be surprised if it doesn't drop by 25%. Now that's not Polestar's fault because I do believe that Polestar at $20 billion in valuation is reasonable. Think about this. Last year Polestar made $1.5 billion in revenue. So if you really want to understand the value of the company, how much money could Polestar make in 10 years? They could make 30 billion if they're making 1.5 each year. That's more than their valuation. So yes, a $20 billion valuation is actually correct. That's a good estimate of their true value as a company. So that's good because they're not overvalued, but they're also not undervalued. That's quite reasonable. But unfortunately, right now, the market is in a bad place. So they're going to be hit hard. And they're already being hit hard because people are shorting the shares just because they know the market is going to dip even more and they're going to make a quick buck. They're going to make some quick money. But here's what I can say. Don't let that negativity deprive you of the joys of being within the GGPI family, the Polestar family, the Polestar shares. And once again, this is not financial advice. But it's fair to say that we're all feeling quite bullish when it comes to Polestar. And in other news, Gores Guggenheim looks like the next big EV market arrival. So what does it say? New EV launches and aggressive expansion plan geographically makes the GGPI stock attractive. Of course it does, because Polestar is expanded with new spaces in new countries and they're unstoppable right now. The GGPI stock has been unimpressive since late November 2021. GGPI stock price has tumbled almost 33% from an all-time high of $15.33 in November 2021. Of course, the market was doing great in November, so that's no surprise. Don't blame Polestar. Current price is $10.29. The special acquisition company SPAC announced a merger with up-and-coming electric vehicle EV manufacturer Polestar, jointly owned by Geely and Volvo. So amongst the various reasons impacting the stock price, most prominent is the shortage of semiconductors chips. To be fair, supply chain issues have been hurting the entire EV industry, so why is GGPI stock different? Well, it's not really different, but despite all the shortages, Polestar is still trying their best to give us great numbers when it comes to delivering vehicles. So what they're basically saying is that the reason is to expect a delay in a scheduled launch of the EV, Polestar 2 in the United States market. The company is hitting the launch of a new, more economical version of the EV model, Polestar 2, starting at $45,900. This makes it more attainable than its Polestar 1 predecessor, $155,000. Well, of course it does. The Polestar 1 is more of a collector's car. It's more of a high-end sports car. It's not meant to be an everyday car that someone can buy, or just like regular people like ourselves can buy. You know, the Polestar 1 is extremely expensive for good reason. It's extremely rare as well. And the last time I checked, Polestar isn't producing them anymore. They produced the last 300 vehicles in Q1 of this year, and I believe that's it. I think there's a large amount of those vehicles that they painted in gold just to symbolize the achievement of what they've accomplished, which was great. It's a great way to send off the production of the Polestar 1. So it also says while there is hype surrounding the release, the Polestar 2 doesn't have many differentiate factors compared to its rival. That means rollouts and production must be flawless and fast to compete in the emerging market. Hence, execution risk remains with suspects to being able to meet its contractual demands. So other players such as Tesla have been handling the ongoing supply chain challenge by paying upfront fees to ensure ready suppliers or substituting it with alternative chips to meet demand. Yes, Tesla has been killing it with that. They've been rewriting their technology and their programming and their software to interact, to use other chips that are available, which is really good because not many companies can do that. Tesla seems to be the only one who's doing that right now. And possibly Polestar is to follow. Possibly Polestar is doing the same thing. The company has secured a 5-year deal to supply 65,000 electric vehicles to the auto rental company Hertz. The rental company aims to begin offering the vehicles to customers in spring 2022 in Europe and in late 2022 North America and Australia. This gives a lineup visibility of at least 600 million per year. Apart from Polestar, only Tesla generates a similar deal with Hertz. That's true. That is true. And it wasn't too long ago that Hertz leaders said Tesla was the only realistic automaker that they want to participate with. But now they're participating and making deals with Polestar because guess what? Polestar makes great vehicles. So these contracts, arguably bold, well for the company of Hertz is one of the largest auto rental company in the United States. The rental company is dedicated to serving the North American market with the largest EV rental fleet. Polestar is well positioned to benefit from any further future opportunities arising from the partnership. Of course. And in 2021, the company achieved a global sale of 29,000 vehicles, reflecting on a growth of 185,000 year on year. Polestar expanded geographically to operate in 19 markets in 2021, up from 10 markets earlier. So how brilliant. And this year, I think they're going to, 25 markets? 28 or 30 markets? They're expanding rapidly, even in South Korea as well, which is brilliant. So the plan to release 3 new EVs in the market for the next 3 years, including the Polestar 3 built in the United States, Polestar 4, which is its Polestar 4 for 2023, and that's an SUV, and a smaller electric performance SUV, and that will be the Polestar 4, and obviously the Polestar 5 in 2024, and that's the luxurious vehicle to compete with the Tesla Model S and the Porsche Taycan. And I believe the Polestar 5 will be extremely competitive and extremely popular in that space. So Gores Guggenheim expect to complete its SPAC merger with Polestar by the first half of 2022. That seems to be the schedule, that seems to be the rumor, and it seems to be like we're closing in on this date. So this is good for Polestar, this is good for us, it's good for everyone who's involved. So thank you for watching, subscribe to see more, and of course I will see you in my next video.